The armor that looks cool. The armor with best stats. Me listening to songs, Bluetooth headphones, battery low. Telling my friend to give One Piece a chance by watching the first season. I think we need another key to success. Education is not working. Baby, would you still love me if I was fat? Baby, you are fat. Who hates the YouTube monopoly? Who uses one of the alternatives? Guys, I don't think 2026 is gonna be my year. Vegan bacon. Ingredients. Bacon. Original. Ingredient. These new cars are weird. Just wanted to reverse and it's showing me a video of someone getting run over. Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft, Nintendo, Activision. I would never buy a game. Undertale, Hollow Knight, Lead Cells, Stardew Valley. At your service, my queen. When YouTubers tell a case of a real serial killer who killed a lot of people, a supposed lost episode of SpongeBob. ChatGPT, yes I agree, you don't sugarcoat anything. If my idea is weak, call it trash and tell me why. Your job is to stress test everything I say until it's bulletproof. Buying new 2025 car with payments with 30% interest. I'm the dumbest man alive. I rent a new car for 3 to 4 years from a lease and pay the same each month but return it when the lease ends. You're clearly dumber. Me when I'm hit with poison, burn, blindness or any other debuff. Me when I'm hit with slow. No, that is not what these snacks are called. Your mother blew me away with her cooking. Too hot for the uglies, too ugly for the hotties. I'm a victim of my own success. My taste in women. Also my taste in women. Also my taste in women. Can I take you out? I have a boyfriend, sorry. He can go too. He just gotta pay for himself. When you have been playing an online game with a random person for 3 hours and they finally have to leave, it's been an honor. Good luck. Every year on New Year Eve I think no way they can turn this number into glasses and every year I'm wrong. Genie, you have 3 wishes. I can't chill someone, make someone fall in love to another and resurrect the lead. Me. Oh, 3 is too short so I wish for an infinite number of wishes. Genie, I can't do that neither. Me. Well, I wish you can do it. Genie, listen here you little she. I was checking to see if a burrito place near me had good reviews and the photos of the place looked dingy and the food looks greasy and they serve it in styrofoam, and when I clicked their website I got a 404 error. This is going to be the best food I have ever tasted. I know he'll never forget me because my name is a month. Sunday. Cement said Sunday. We did it. We wasted 99% of 2025. Mama raised a complainer, not a quitter. I'll do it but you're gonna hear about it. Not to brag but I have enough money to not work for the rest of 2025. Hire me to unlock my full potential. Nobody. Life hack videos. Expectation. Reality. Finally, this year is over. The last 2 days of 2025. Yeah, one more thing. Now imagine this. A Japanese guy really into American culture learns English through Family Guy and constantly speaks like Peter Griffin. When you're about to eat Mexican food and you know somebody else will clean your A. POV. You just said no to your mother. Tell me the truth. Are you talking to other girls? Obviously not only with you. Did you know that Jocelyn, the other one you're talking to, is my fake account? You see, I told you I only talk to you. Got any fatherly advice for me? If you find a website where you can watch pirated movies, don't share it on TikTok or YouTube. Many sites have been taken down because of that. The pain of writing something against your own beliefs for a good grade. No matter how cold it gets, there is always this person. Mobile game developers realizing that forcing people to the Play Store by making the close ad button small as F won't make them download the game. Me. Tries to delete file. PC. Sorry but you can't delete this. Me. I own you. I think shaming or belittling people for enjoying something you personally don't understand or enjoy is peak douchebaggery. Random gambling ads in the middle of my online movies be like. Bro posted up next to his work looking proud as hell. Anarchy in the UK. Would you like some tea? No. You're so considerate. Haha, thanks. I was raised in constant fear of upsetting people, so you know, finger guns. Today someone told me I'm nice and I literally said thanks. It's the emotional trauma. People who don't drink alcohol. People who don't smoke. People who don't drink caffeine. Me when I find a cool stick. Billionaires with only 10 yachts. When I come home after a long day and see this at the entrance, screams internally. I'm just glad 2025 is over. 2025 releasing the final boss before it officially ends. I can tell how someone is feeling about me by just making it up in my head. Do restaurants still make people wash the dishes if they can't pay? I was thinking of treating myself tomorrow. How it feels to argue with older people who think they're right because they're older people. The fact he did this when he has an actual brick wall 2 feet away. Brother, if finger licking good exists, then so does tolacking evil. I'm reporting you to the interrogator chaplain. Me, I'm an adult. Also me seeing the salt shaker. So sanity if generative AI never existed. Me when there's only food of rarity common in the fridge. My fragile attention span. Short form brain rot videos. And then I said. Me drowning in adult problems, responsibilities and existential dread. That one influencer's advice. Just be positive. When I decided to open YouTube at night, it's in dark mode. When I'm taking a test I didn't study for and I hear guns in the hallway. American dream. Babe, I think we need to have an honest conversation about how you are spending your skill points. When my boyfriend tells me he's gonna introduce me to his family and he arrives with 2 kids and a lady. How actors look in based on a true story movies. How the real person looks when they show their photo at the end. Love morning coffee. This dude has to be either going to get or noisy. In nature, beneficial relationships such as this one are not uncommon. Here a bird is cleaning the hide of a hippo and whispering important messages into its ear. Talk is cheap because supply always exceeds demand. Legitimate search. It's got to be here somewhere. Desperate. God help you, what are you still doing here? The morning of January 1st through the eyes of a sober person. Woman sent 65,000 texts to a man after their first date and then broke into his house to take a bath. Me, I'm sad. My friends, OMG don't be sad. Me, my goodness what an idea, why didn't I think of that? Remember when a series of unfortunate events was a book and not your life? People talking about how the latest season of Stranger Things lacks. The people behind One Punch Man season 3, thankful people are not talking about them. When you ask your mom for money and she says bring me my handbag. Be awkward by being quiet, be awkward by talking. Manager, why aren't you working? Me, I didn't see you coming. Larry Page is more closer to me than he is close to Musk. Philosophy professors, Backstreet Boys, 3-year-olds, tell me why. The homeless guy on the subway, me trying to pretend I don't notice him. Always tell people different stories about yourself, so when they gossip about you they'll argue. Me listening to my grandma assuring me that all my problems will disappear once I get married and stop playing video games. What emotion is this even supposed to be? This emoji is for when a bad bee tells you to do something. When someone insults you and it's actually a good one you haven't heard before. My story in my head. My story when I try to write it down. Reading a job rejection email and realizing you have to go back to your current job that you have mentally checked out on for the past month. White people love saying get these away from me after eating a few chips. My mom, look me in the eyes and if you laugh it's because you're lying, my mom. Don't invite me places, I was born by cesarean. I didn't want to come out then and I certainly don't want to now. One day before the exam. Explain it like you are explaining to a donkey. I had a million opportunities to waste money this year and I took them all. In fact, even when there wasn't an opportunity I created one. What you think winter is, what winter actually is to most people. Every trendy coffee shop in the gentrified neighborhood, the croissant on the display counter, the one they serve me. This is how I stare at people after not understanding anything they just said. The internet remains undefeated. Leaving work on Friday afternoon like this. The worst mistake you can make while cleaning is sitting down for even a minute. When nobody cancels and you actually have to go out. Hey, it's been a long time since we met, me trying to remember their name. XD. When you are a doctor but your crush eats an apple a day. Success doesn't come to you, you go to it. Probably should have asked for directions. Every time we are forced to talk about Joe Rogan I'm reminded of my best and most immutable axiom, nothing that only men like is cool. Everyone is mad about this, so let me just clarify that I'm 100% correct. You'll say Beyonce is the best singer of this generation, but this dude has a vocal range that can match anything. My face when everybody keeps mashing the trash down instead of taking it out. Me thinks boyfriend is mad because he's being very quiet. Me, what you thinking about him, about how bike tires are made. Ladies, we gotta stop worrying what boys are thinking because 9 times out of 10 it's some dumb shit like this. Me before haircut, me somewhere in between the haircut, me after the haircut. How high are your standards for dating? I have practically zero standards at this point. I would settle for a woman who likes me. Women who mention their husband within 30 seconds of me chatting them up, you the real MVPs. When you walk into a Rolex boutique with no money just to chill time expecting they would put you on a wait list but they actually have the piece in stock. What happened to house parties? Nobody has a house. You just knew if you saw these 4 photos back in 2014, you were gonna lose. Me coming out of my shell after the alcohol starts to hit. The journey builds character, or trauma, depends. Exercise, eating. Wish I wasn't so old, wish I wasn't so young. Got autism. Studies have shown a link between cow's milk and autism. Drinks a gallon of milk in 6 minutes in order to gain super autism. Being a parent is wild because no matter how tired you are, that's too damn bad. Subway now has thinly sliced meat, great, so we get more slices right. Right. I'm going to not use headphones. I'm in an enclosed public space. I start watching TikTok or video call someone. Why is everyone staring at me looking pied? When you're learning at school and someone calls you dumb, that's why I'm here. You only live once, you only lie once too. Well, somebody missed morning meditation. When everything's going good in your life, your car. When you're at your friend's house and you're too shy to ask for a blanket. Everyone will return in Avengers Doomsday, except her. Why is dentistry important? Because even though he's missing an eyebrow, the first thing you notice is his smile. When mom says that's enough screen time for today. POV, you're eating something soft and you hear and feel a crunch. When you physically struggle with or can't do something due to a disability but a common person gives you instructions or a demonstration of how they do it. My goodness, what an idea, why didn't I think of that? Hitch, do you hear that? That's the sound of forgiveness. That's the sound of people drowning, Carl. Nobody is born cool, except of course, people who put static non-strobing Christmas lights on their houses. Gang members are so lucky to have something to do with their hands in photos. When you try to look up your symptoms online but every result says can. How I expected my body in 2025. How it is. How to master mathematics, practice. When someone's ringtone is the same as my alarm and suddenly everything feels terrible. Don't mess with me. I haven't showered yet. Get away from me. I just took a shower. Cynthia Erivo reveals that she uses Beyonce's hair care line Sacred in her hair routine. In her what routine? How it feels to be the 0.001% of people who has never watched Game of Thrones in their life. Your order has been shipped. Me. Track package. When she matches your energy instead of thinking you're weird. Teacher, what comes after 720? Me. 721. Teacher, then why did you write 1080? When the cake recipe says put one whole egg in it. After overthinking about it for 6 hours I have decided that it's not a big deal. Trump does something crazy. Media rage baits with titles like this will finally take him down. Nothing happens. Round and round we go. I'm an international smuggler. I sent Kinder Surprise eggs to my friend in America. 3 AM in 2005. 3 AM now. I still don't know what I'm wearing to the living room on New Year's Eve. I might not even go. Every year I go to bed earlier and earlier. Me aiming for that tiny as F close ad button. Good job Maria. Now get some rest. Hate when I type in the first letter of my email and the text box immediately goes incorrect. Fill in a complete email address. I'm still working on it. Chill out. Rhythm game player, how are you today? Someone, but rhythm game player. Guinness, Michelin, having a side business of making a judgment about who is the best at something. When I say I love the ocean I mean the surface. Whatever goes on beneath has my respect but it's none of my business. Pasta after adding parmesan. A cat with endless food and a caring family when the door opened 1 centimeter.
Spare change. Spare change, ma'am.